In this video, we're going to talk about RaOptics blue blocking eyewear. I'm going to start off explaining the basic fundamentals of how important it is for us to manage our light environment. I call this light hygiene. If you think about how we've evolved from an evolutionary standpoint, once the sun has gone down, prior to electricity, right, we're lighting fires. And so we're only seeing the color spectrum of light in the orange, amber, and red spectrum. And then the fire would have died down, we went to sleep, then woke up with the sun. And the morning sun, in its red light and then on into later in the day as that light turns to the spectrum of blue, signals to our bodies that it's now time to wake up. What we've done to ourselves, unfortunately, even though we love the convenience of having artificial light to light our way at night, is we've confused our biology to think that it's daytime when in fact it's nighttime. And that's why I'm so stoked that companies like RaOptics have created eyewear that we can easily habituate ourselves to wearing once the sun goes down. So the strategy looks a little something like this. These are the night glasses, right? And you can see they're a really sort of deep amber, almost red color. And this again would be the color fundamentally of fire, or the color of light that you would see after dark if there was no artificial light. When we're living in the modern world, we're constantly inundated with artificial light. So once the sun goes down, we're seeing headlights from oncoming cars, we're seeing street lights, we're going into stores where they're lit very brightly at night with a spectrum of light that doesn't even exist in nature. We come home, we flip all the lights on, we open the refrigerator, there's blue light there. So we're completely upside down when it comes to the communication that we're sending our brain and our body, our hormones, our neurotransmitters, everything that makes us feel good, that stabilizes our mood, that stabilizes our sleep quality, and we're turning that upside down. So we're having a mismatch in our circadian biology or our circadian rhythm by tricking our brains through our eyes and actually through the photoreceptors in our skin that it's daytime. So imagine we're in this room right now and it's 11 p.m. and we have lights that are that color on, like I dare take these off. Oh man, it's like the sun is shining in my eyes. The moment I look in that light for just a few seconds, it's sending a signal to my brain to stop the production of melatonin. Melatonin is actually the most powerful anti-cancer molecule in the human body. And so when we start to disrupt the signals to our body, and at 11 p.m. we're sending a signal to the body, stop melatonin, start producing cortisol, which is the awake hormone that makes you feel energized and alert, which you want to have during the day, we're flipping everything upside down. And this has a negative cascade effect on so many different mechanisms within our body, and ultimately affecting our lives and our productivity and our mood and the way that we operate in the world. So if we're going to live in the modern world with all its conveniences, I mean, I love indoor lighting. I love the fact that I can get in my car and turn the headlights on and navigate my way at night. I love the fact that I have a computer and a television and a phone and all these things that emit light and they're useful and I want to keep using them in my life. Well, then I've got a decision to make. Am I going to use them at the cost of my health and my well-being and longevity? Or are there some simple steps that I can take to mitigate the negative consequences of those activities and those conveniences? And the answer is yes, it's super easy. So I'm going to give you the protocol now, and it's really quite simple. You know, the science on this is complex and abundant, but the solution is very simple. Wherever you are in your life on a day-to-day basis, observe when the sun goes down. And when the sun goes down, put on your RaOptics evening glasses and keep them on until you lay down in bed with the lights off to go to sleep. Sounds difficult, but once your sleep patterns get corrected and you start to go through all of the different sleep cycles through the night because you have such an abundance of melatonin from cutting off the blue light at the appropriate time, I guarantee it's going to be worth it to make those subtle changes. In addition to wearing your glasses at night, you can make some other simple changes in your living environment that are going to support your sleep and to support your health. So in my home here, what I've done is I've replaced every single light bulb in the house with the exception of a couple, and I know where they are. They're on isolated switches and in lamps and things like that. So if I need more bright light for a moment, I can turn them on. Once the sun goes down in my house, the only lights that are active are antique style amber colored incandescent bulbs or filament bulbs, and these produce a nice warm light. Now while these don't produce any blue light, they still produce a little bit of green light. Now I'm not that hardcore where I'm wearing these glasses indoors all the time, but trust me, when I travel and I'm on an airplane or staying in an Airbnb or a hotel, I'm absolutely going to be wearing these glasses 100% of the time after the sun goes down, because I've seen the benefits in my life, and there's just no turning back. Once you start to feel really good from getting your melatonin and cortisol cycles in sync, and you're in alignment with nature, you know, according to the laws and rhythms that creation put here for us to thrive, there's no turning back. It's really important when you're shopping for blue blocking eyewear, and there's tons of blue blocking glasses now. You can find them for $6 on Amazon. But the issue is with a lot of the blue blocking eyewear is they don't cut out all of the spectrum of light that interrupts your melatonin production and thus your sleep, because it's not only blue light that's going to interrupt your sleep, it's also green light. And again, this light doesn't appear green or blue to the naked eye. You need special equipment in order to be able to tell the temperature of that light. RaOptics glasses are very specifically designed to block all spectrums of light that are going to interrupt that melatonin production. Not all glasses on the market are able to do that. Another point to take into consideration when you're building your light hygiene strategy is that if you happen to wake up before the sun comes up, again, you want to wear your nighttime glasses until the sun rises, then you can discard them, go about your day. If you really want to take your circadian rhythm and your biology to the next level, the key is to get in a position where you can watch the sunrise every morning. I know it's difficult, I don't make it all days. You got to get up early, and then watch the sun set in the evening. Now geographically, sometimes this isn't possible because there's mountains in the ways and you don't have a direct line of sight to the sunrise or sunset on the horizon. But this is the fastest way to set your circadian rhythm and the production of your hormones and neurotransmitters. This is one of the main things I do to combat jet lag when I'm traveling, is get my body into alignment with the location that I am geographically the moment I get there by watching as many sunrises and sunsets as possible. So in addition to being mindful to block artificial light at night, it's also really important to interact with nature and expose yourself to those spectrums of light outside when it's daytime. In addition to watching sunsets and sunrises to set your circadian clock, it's also really important to get some daytime sun in midday. Now, if you can get outdoors and get natural sunlight in your eyes and on as much of your body as possible for 20 minutes, it will change your life. This is where your hormones and neurotransmitters are created and ramped up in their production. So the blue light that's created in the middle of the day by the sun, UVA, UVB, etc., is really good for you. Now that said, you want to sun safely. Obviously getting sunburned is not healthy, and it depends on your pigmentation and where your ancestors are from in terms of your tolerance to sun exposure. But I've known people that are very fair-skinned and can build a solar callus by very gradually and incrementally exposing themselves to sun. So light is not the enemy here, it's artificial light, and that's why our light hygiene is so important. So in addition to blocking the artificial light, we want to be making sure that we get outdoors, remove sunglasses, remove prescription glasses, contacts, get natural daylight in our eyes and on our skin, as well as blocking the fake light at night. Now, when I'm talking about fake light, what I'm talking about is non-native blue light. That's blue light that does not exist in nature. It's an alien spectrum of light. So when you look at lighting sources like fluorescent lights and LED lights, which by the way are the lights that power most of your tablets, laptops, desktops, televisions, etc., as well as any indoor lighting that you typically see in a big box store, department store, grocery store, airport, school, hospital. Most of that lighting is a very cool temperature of blue that does not exist in nature. It's a very narrow spectrum of blue light that eliminates all of the green light, it eliminates all of the yellow, all of the violet, all of the red, all of the amber. Think of all the colors in the rainbow. The reason that you see the colors of the rainbow is those are the colors that are actually present in the full spectrum of sunlight. When humans make light bulbs to be energy efficient, they remove all of the warm temperature of that light in order to save energy. And that's great. We love saving energy, but at what cost? The cost is when we're exposed to that very narrow spectrum of blue light, such as the light here in the studio, well, actually it's in my living room, the studio lighting, that sends a signal to your brain that's very chaotic and confusing because the brain has not evolved to see that very narrow spectrum of light. Now that's going to take us into the use of the day wear glasses that look quite different. These are the glasses that you would wear, and there's a multitude of different styles. These happen to be a clear frame and just one that I had laying around. There's another one here that looks like this, the tortoiseshell. Those might be kind of my vibe a little bit more. Now these are the glasses that we're going to be wearing during the day anytime we're exposed to that non-native, very narrow spectrum of blue light. Case in point, on an airplane, sitting in an office building, walking into a drugstore, a grocery store, hospital, school, anywhere where there's artificial light or where we're going to be looking at a screen, a television, tablet, phone, computer, you want to be wearing the day glasses to minimize the damage of that very narrow spectrum of blue light. When you're shopping for blue blocking eyewear to wear during the daytime, like these ones that appear to be clear, it's really important to understand that most companies aren't really using science to produce their glasses. And so when you look at them, they appear to be clear, but they're not blocking that really gnarly, narrow, non-native spectrum of blue light that's not only harmful to your melatonin production in your sleep, but also to your eyes. That's a really important thing to understand about this unnatural, non-native blue light, is that it's very damaging to your eyes and your brain. So exposure to screens, which are LED lights, are known to cause macular degeneration and all sorts of other eye disorders and issues and loss of vision, etc. So it's really important always to protect your eyes from blue light, even during the daytime. So the only time you should really be having no eyewear, no protection at all, is when you're out in natural daylight, no matter how bright it is. A cloudy day, a sunny day, all natural light is good for your eyes, it's good for your brain, it's good for your biology. And all fake light, especially light in that very narrow, cool spectrum of non-native blue light, is damaging to your biology. Now, this isn't about being paranoid and walking around in fear and anxiety. It's just about becoming educated and using common sense to think about what's natural. Is a spectrum of light that doesn't exist anywhere on the planet except when humans make these bulbs natural for me? Is it good for my biology? Does it support my health and longevity? And the answer is no. It's unfortunate. Now, hopefully, as people become more educated about this, people will design lighting that's more biologically friendly. But for the time being, because the lighting that is the most economically viable and uses the least amount of energy is the most damaging to the human body, that's what is most prevalent. So anytime you're behind glass during the day, working on a computer, in an office building or anywhere where there's an abundance of that really nasty blue light, you want to be wearing your clear RaOptics glasses. And these are going to cut that dangerous spectrum of light, but still allow you to see true colors. Whereas when I'm wearing the night glasses, for example, everything turns amber or red or orange. So it would be difficult to do things like edit photos or watch a movie or anything like that with these glasses on, because the color spectrum is altered so dramatically. But I'd never wear these during the daytime anyway. So in the daytime, when I need to be able to drive and see what's going on and see true colors, I'm going to be wearing the daytime glasses. And these are also great to use while you're driving, because again, anytime you're behind glass, you're filtering out certain spectrum of light, UVA, UVB, etc. There's a balance of light in natural sunlight, and it gets disrupted when it goes through glass. Again, go back to common sense. Think of a paleo lighting environment, a Paleolithic or ancient lighting environment. We've not evolved to see through glass. Glass makes light unnatural and harmful to our eyes and to our biology. So, simple tactic is, when it's nighttime, I'm putting these guys on. When it's daytime and I'm in front of artificial blue light, I put these on. It's really simple, and I found in my own personal life that I've been doing this for many years, that I've just become habituated to it, and there's just a signal when the sun goes down. It's like, oh, sun's going down. I'm throwing these glasses on and I'm keeping them on again until I fall asleep. When I turn off all the lights and I put my head on the pillow, that's when these are going off. And it's just something that I've gotten used to doing. I've built it into my lifestyle, and it's actually quite easy. And once you start to see the benefits of true deep sleep and going through all those cycles and waking up refreshed and feeling like your mind and body are strong and vital, there's no turning back. You won't live without them. So I'm really stoked for a company like RaOptics to come along and not only do the scientific research and really produce lenses that are filtering out the most important spectrum of light that's harmful to us, but RaOptics has also done it right because they make glasses that are actually cool. And I have a few of the styles here. I don't have all of them. I've already shown these guys, the clear frames. And there's a bunch of different ones that they have out now. There's a million on their site. I think these are kind of like the John Lennon ones. I don't know if these are exactly my steez, but for someone out there, these are perfect. And then we've got a couple more models too. The classic black frame, I think these would probably be, like something I would wear and not feel terribly embarrassed about. And then we've got the clear on clear day glasses here as well. And these are really high quality glasses too. That's the thing when you're going to a site like Amazon and just typing in blue blocking glasses because I want to save money, you're going to get really low quality crappy glasses that are all bendy and don't feel good on your face and are just really, low quality materials and horrible design. So RaOptics look really cool. They look normal. It's not embarrassing to go around town wearing them. I mean, back in the day when I first started wearing blue blocking glasses, trust me, they didn't look like this. They look like big, welding goggles. I get them on Amazon for $8, and they would cut some of the blue light, but not the green light. So I found that they didn't really help my sleep that much. So we've come a long way in terms of the research, in terms of the technology, and with RaOptics, also the design. So that's why I'm a huge fan of this company, and I'm happy to promote them and encourage people to try them out. And as I said, once you get in the habit of taking care of your lighting environment and creating what I call light hygiene, you'll never go back.